Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm just sharing the link for my meeting. So give me a few minutes. All right, so I am pretty much set. Let me just switch on the chat just to see. Hi, Vasudha. I'm doing good. Hi, Tanuja. Hi, Sur. Good evening. So let's have more people joining in. Hi, Ahmed. Good evening. Yes. Hi, Socrates. Good evening. So today was really a wonderful day. Everything we thought of, we planned of, hit on the nail. And I'm sure most of you were able to make good money. Like if we do a check on our yesterday's sheet, it was a clear buy above 41.80, 41.85, hit exactly 42.60, did the job. NQ hit 13,400 to the point. QQQ 329, like in between, so it was done. Apple made 155, good target. AMD 109, good target. Amazon 2900 and above, good target. BA approximately 180, could not reach 100%. Baba was a good sell around 80, went make 73. Cat didn't move much. Costco almost tested the second target. Facebook did the first target. Oracle second target. Google almost came 2600. Crowd didn't work that much. ITC didn't move that much. JPM did some of its job. Microsoft did 285. UPST did 97. UL did 37. Tesla did 800. So all in all, if you picked up one of these tickers, you're pretty much good for the day. I picked up Amazon. I was holding Nvidia and did Google. So made reasonable money and was out with some good returns. Now for tomorrow, I want to talk about a few things because I have still 10 minutes. Anyone has any point you want to discuss, we can discuss and use these 10 minutes. You can post your questions in the chat and I'll respond. So you can come over to the YouTube chat, post your question and I will respond. I'll use the next 9 minutes or so to respond. And then I can start about my Fed analysis, what I'm expecting and what are the next directional moves. So anybody has any open questions, please come out and ask. Don't be just mute listeners. You should interact, learn and ask. No one is interested. That's weird. I don't see anybody coming up and asking me anything. Yes, Amit, that's what I've told you previously as well. That I only pick up one or two tickers from my list, and uh, then like look out for my target. Once I achieve my target, I am done. I don't trade after that, because every time I trade more, I'm gonna lose more. So I try to keep about simple 1 to 2 trades a day. Made some money, you can lose some money, but all in all, it keeps you in check. Rate hike have effect on gold? Yes. Gold is actually making a cup and handle on monthly chart over a period of 10 years. So 1929, if let me open the gold here. If you look at the gold going to monthly, it is completely making cup and handle. This is a very long time frame. It is making cup and handle. It almost came to 2091 but failed, and now it's trading at 1920, 1929. This area is really important for gold to hold. If it loses, it will be negative, and I'm sure it will not lose it because Fed has, and I will explain that at 10:30. Fed balance sheet and the impact of it on the gold, because you need to understand the balance sheet reduction as well as the rate hike. So that will have an impact on gold. As of now, I am uh, positive on gold. Inverted head and shoulders, like if this is inverted head and shoulders. So here is your shoulder one, your head, and shoulder two. And this is like a neckline. If you revert it, it becomes the head and shoulder. Usually the move which comes after the break here, it is equal to the length here. 90%, so your target should be somewhere here. So if you're making inverted head and shoulders, you're expecting a bounce, expect in straight line approximately this much of bounce. So that's what inverted head and shoulder, and it's a bullish pattern. About crude stocks, I think if there is no more impact on Ukraine and Russia situation, I think crude is going to stay about $80 to $90 for some time, because the production has not been hiked by OPEC countries. So there's going to be some sort of 80-90 saturation on crude for some time. It looked, I'll check on SPY. Nilesh, 1 to 2 trade, what is your profit target per trade? Again, I've answered this 100 million times. I'm going to say this again. What percentage I make, what percentage you make, it doesn't matter. You need to define what is your risk, how much you are ready to lose. Based on that, you need to figure out how much you are willing to make. If you are trying, or you have a stop loss of $500, make sure you have target of at least $1,000. It should be at least 1 to 2 in size. 1 for stop loss and 2 for the targets. So depending on what percentage you lose, what you should have an equal percent, or equal in the sense like double the amount of percentage what's your stop losses. And how much I make, it doesn't matter. How much I lose, it doesn't matter. Is ES futures? Yes. Shreyas, I was expecting Bitcoin to pop. Shares 25 basis points. That's what he confirmed in Congress. So I'm sure he's going to stick to that. Anything other than that is going to be destructive. Bitcoin 42, yes. Like I don't trade Bitcoin, so I will not go into that and answer that. But as of now, Bitcoin is showing some strength. QQ 30, 335, 315 support. I think we will see the rally, some cool off, and the continuation. Basis will flush since this. No, that's not correct. Shares 25 basis point is priced in. Crude fears more or less are over. Yes. See, interest rate hikes are always followed by the big moves on the higher side. So there's a short-term volatility every time there's an interest rate hike, but it always end up with a higher move. So it's always long-term bullish interest rate hikes. High special. He cannot go away with not doing hike. Silver, okay, I'll check. All right. So more or less we are at 10:30. So let me just start. And in case you have any questions, do post it. I have my another screen open up. I can read your comments and I can respond. All right. So let me start from Fed point of view first. So tomorrow we have FOMC meeting, and what FOMC has in plates before making a decision. There is high inflation, which is not transitory. It is expanding, expanding, and expanding. 7.9 it was before the Ukraine war, the last month which it came. Next month it will be above 8.5 to 8.7 at least. So its direction is higher. GDP growth of US is going higher. Unemployment is going lower. Jobs is going higher. So these four factors are in front of Fed to make decision on the interest rate and balance sheet reduction. Now Fed, Mr. JP, already said 25 basis points is going to be there on Wednesday. Now there are three possible scenarios, out of which this is 95% sure. He's going to stick with 25 basis points. There is 4% possibility he may go with 50 basis points. This will crush the market for short term, and we will fill the gap of 4,000. But the likelihood of happening this is low. Low means really low. And third one is no hike. If this happens, we will hit 43.82 by tomorrow close. Possibility here is less than 0.9. If I give 4 and roughly 95% here, I don't want to give it more than 1%. It will hit 4382. But this factors are not the only factors which is going to impact. 95%, 25 basis point possibility. Yes, it is there. But what is really, really important tomorrow is the balance sheet reduction. That is important. Second, the size of hike. So my goal or my thought process is we're going to get this one. We are not going to get this one. We are not going to get this one. With this, market may not move on its own. This factor, the balance sheet reduction program and the size of hikes will decide the market direction. And this will usually explained in the conference call at 2:30. So no need to jump in the initial market volatility. You will only lose or get trapped. Understand what Powell is saying, take appropriate action based on that understanding, because this will define next few weeks. So if now let me just clear this, coming to the balance sheet reduction. Now they have a balance sheet of $8.6 trillion. Okay. And as I said, next month CPI is going to be 8.5 and higher. So this will force Fed to go next hike to 50 basis point. There's a highly likely possibility of happening. But looking at the Ukraine situation, you looking at the commodity prices, he is left with very limited wiggle room. So if he says that in the next Fed meeting, which is happening in May, they are looking for a 50 basis point hike, that will be a negative for the market. And market can go down. If he says that we are going to support the market and we're going to run the market with 25 basis point each, market will give a thumbs up. So even after tomorrow's hike, if the hike is sustainable like this, and in May, it will be well oriented, well accepted by the market, because they are not rushing into the market. But if it shows this, it means things are getting out of control from Fed. And they really, really want to manage the liquidity in the market by cutting off the interest rate discounts which they have offered. Recession, like Tanuja, recession is not something like that. Recession is when you have 2 quarters of GDP going back to back down. We are not going now as of now. So this is not recession. So in terms of Fed, recession is economic numbers. Now, most important thing is 8.6 trillion. I'm sure they are not going to hit 8.6 trillion in the current year, but most likely they will try to hit at least $1.6 trillion in almost a year from now. So if they declare that, yes, they will be doing the balance sheet reduction, because if they are not doing this 50 basis point, they will have to do and reduce the balance sheet early as soon as June or July. As of now, they were saying they will wait until the end of year. And similarly, ECB said they are not going to reduce the balance sheet. They are going to reduce the purchase program, which is APPS, to 40, 30, and 20 billion euros. And then they will increase the interest rate, and then they will come and reduce the balance sheet. If Fed follows the same thing and reduce the balance sheet after completing the interest rate hikes, so this 1.6 trillion is not happening this year. But my concern is that if they are not doing 50% basis hike, which is really, really required by the market fraternity as of now, then they have no choice but to prepone this balance sheet reduction. And this is serious impact on the market. So $1.6 trillion, you just imagine, as of now, they have only stopped $120 billion coming into the market just on March the 10th. And last time I told all this was in December, that expect market to go down significantly because there's no fresh money. And now you have seen all the growth stocks, all the high end stocks, they have crushed by 30, 40, up to 90%. So when we are going to squeeze out $1.6 trillion, that is going to come out from the market and from the real estate. So be mindful if you are thinking of adding long-term, what you call leaps here. This market is not for the long-term leaps. If you are invested in real estate, you will clearly see a bump downside as soon as this balance sheet reduction comes to the picture. They've already eased off. There are only few cities where the like housing retail markets, sellers market is still there, but it's going to ease off because this money is going to come out from the liquidity. And once that money is coming out, it will have a cyclical impact on the economy. So that's why I'm suggesting understand what he's going to say tomorrow before making any meaningful decision on your trades. If you want to wait it out. Because usually what happens on the day when Jerome Powell says things, it happens exactly the opposite the next couple of days. This is my observation. But anything can happen. Understand what he's saying, understand these numbers, and nobody on the TV is going to explain you all this. I'm sharing this because I've learned over many years all this information. 25 basis point for the next legs is good. 50 basis point for the next leg is bad. Balance sheet reduction in June is seriously bad. Balance sheet reduction to the next year is like 5 thumbs up, 5-star. And if you have a basis point, 50 basis point hike tomorrow, it's a big thumbs down. It will be very, very short-term thumbs down. So be mindful, interpret. I have given you the explanation. If you want to, you can, this video will be available on YouTube. You can read on this video, understand it, and compare what he's saying in that press conference. Nilesh, balance sheet reduction is the opposite of quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is the program where Fed purchased the bonds from the corporates, buys the debt, and give them the money and put that on their balance sheet. And when they are doing the balance sheet reduction, they are maturing the bonds, or the maturity of the bonds which is there, they are redeeming them. So they are going to get the interest rate back, not interest rate, interest yield back, and the principal amount which was issued when the bonds were purchased. So that's totally totally opposite side, balance sheet reduction and quantity easing. If you have any questions, I can still wait for a couple of minutes and answer you that before jumping into the analysis. This is really meaningful macroeconomics. You need to understand it to not get trapped into the market. Twitter will burst you with all their understanding, but if you know what is the meaning of all these points, you will be able to comprehend it and you will be able to tackle the market accordingly in much more meaningful manner. So I'm just waiting for 2-3 more minutes. I can start my analysis at about 10:45. If you have any of any questions regarding what I said, please ask, because I'm not going to answer while I'm doing analysis regarding the macroeconomics, because then it deviates and creates a distraction for me. In between, I'm running my scans, my inside day scan. Google has inside day. HC has inside there. Nike and Serum. Nagesh, do not pre-assume that market will go down. Understand what he's going to say and look at the price action at that time. Because most of the time we pre-assume things, and it's like with all of us. We pre-assume things, and when market tries to go against that trend, we keep on buying. Like let's say if market is going up based on this understanding you're saying, you'll keep on buying puts. And that's where we start to lose. And in my learning, I have understood there's no need to assume things. Look at your chart, 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, whatever works for you. Look at the candle, look at the volume, and see what is happening with the price. And then see where the market will go. Because that is the only real truth, real fact in front of us. Otherwise, everything is in our head. And when we start to trade with mind rather than trading with emotions, then we will do much, much better. Our meeting is at 2, conference is at 2:30. All right. Understanding his statements take time. Yes, so nobody's forcing you to execute the orders. Take your time. I'll post the scan. It's a very simple scan. I'll post it in the Telegram channel. All right, let me get started. ES. So ES, finally, if you see, let me just, yeah, so ES yesterday held on to that 4153 area. It came close to 41535 area where we wanted to go short, but it could not sustain. So as soon as it went up, there was no trade on that side. And above 4180, 85, it gave ample opportunity and almost gave you 80 point run to 4260. It hit 4260, which is a 12 EMA and the Fibonacci. And right there, this stopped. All the tickers which were making day high, they were kind of in the backseat, and the tickers which were previously moving, they tried to come up, or lagging, they tried to move up in the last few minutes. So 4260 is really, really important area. If you break 4260, next area is 4320, 4290. These are the next few areas out of stiff supply area. So if we have to go higher, we need to have some serious positive news from FOMC tomorrow. And I've given you the explanation, permutation, combination of what can be considered as positive or useful. So I'll be going long, and I want to buy above 4260. And now I am, because I'm positive to neutral. I'm picking up the first case, which is buy above 4260. And my stop loss in this case should be somewhere here. You see, there is a high, high, high. So this should act as a support, which is 4240 area. So I'm going to keep 4240 as my stop loss for my long. Targets 4290, 4320. I am 60% bullish, but again, everything depends on 2 p.m. And on the short size, if you want to short, you can short at 4260 stop loss, because this has really, really difficult area. You have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Plus is the 12 EMA as well. So it's not an easy area to breach. If you want to short here, you can short here. But I am like less inclined on shorting at this time. Also, if you look at this, this is making a morning star on the daily as well. There's a candle and this is Heiken Ishii. Let me just go to the normal candle. You see right here, this is making a morning star, perfect morning star. So let me also mention. It's a morning star on daily. So likelihood of this in continuation is there. Just that we need to breach 4260 and we should be good. And 4320, 4290 are possible targets. If we extend 4320, the next area which comes is 4350. So 4350, 4380, they are some serious areas which needs to be tackled. On the short side, if you broke 4260, you can sell. If you want to sell, you can sell near 4150, 4160, oh 4260, 4250, 60 area. Your target, because if we fail, we're gonna fail and we're gonna hit really bad. So 4180 will be the first area, and 4135. Oops, wrong. 4180, 4135. These were the last two targets from yesterday in short side. We wanted to short below 4135. Now, if market doesn't break 4260, we have opportunity to sell. 60-40 is the ratio, and it's morning star here. Here, I will say 12 EMA resistance. NQ. NQ also is making a, like it came 12,965, tested 13,405, almost tested the channel trend line. If I extend to the right, it's right there. It's trying to break out. Now 13,400 is your stop loss. 13,400 will give you 13,576, 13,680. So it becomes positive. 13, this was our target, so this becomes stop loss now. 13, let me just check the trend line. 13,440 and above. 13,440. Target 13,570 and 13,680. It's 60% positive. Again, it's a bullish engulfing here. It tested, like if you see the candle, it covered right from the bottom to bottom, covered the entire. So it shows some serious strength. So bullish engulfing. On the neutral side, because we are moving higher above this range, 13,400 is your stop loss. You can sell below 13,400, which will be this area. Yeah, if you want to keep stop loss 13,450, that should be fine. And if we break it, we have no support. There's no support here. We'll hit 12,965. If we break 13,400, it's going to be nasty. So keep that in mind. And it is 23.6 Fibonacci. Then QQQ, like QQQ and Q are one and the same thing. It's making a morning star. 326.50 is your stop loss, looking for 332 positive. 326.50 is your stop loss. 332 is your target, and 333.20. That's 60%. And if it breaks 333, it's gonna hit 338.50. I'm gonna post 338.50. Okay, and buy above 327.20, or buy near this range. Sell below 326.20. It's a short as well. So if it loses this one, there is no stopping. It's gonna hit 318. 318 and 310 area. It was again a morning star daily. Sell below 326. So this is all good for indexes. Yes, it's making a triangle pattern issue. It's getting tighter and tighter. That's why I'm giving very high targets and on both sides. If it breaks out, it's going to be very, very big move. If it breaks down, it's going to be very, very big move on the downside as well. Apple. So Apple almost, you see right here, made a morning star. But if you convert that into a Heikin Nishi, it is still on the negative trend. But more importantly, it has not made a newer low. It is kind of an inside day in terms of Heikin Nishi. So there's a possibility of a reversal. If it had made a new low, then it would have been different, but it did not make a new low. It held on to that 154 area. So I'll go and call this is a morning star on Apple. It hit 154.80, so I want to buy above 154.80. Stop loss is 153. Target is 158.90. And 160. And I am positive here. AMD did its job, recaptured the 12 EMA perfectly, making a perfect morning star. Again, it bounced right from this trend line of the regression. So now this area of 108 will become your stop loss. In case of AMD, 108 is your stop loss. And or if I remember, 107.20, that is a precise stop loss for AMD. Buy near 108, 109. Target 111, 30, and 115. Again, it's a morning star here. Amazon almost filled the gap, as I think I was answering Sandeep yesterday, that if it holds onto that small gap, it's going to be positive, and that's what happened today. Amazon was bullish, and I'm going to increase it to 70%. It was showing some serious strength compared to the market. So I will go and look at Amazon. Amazon now stop loss is 29.10. And target is 3,000, where it can capture. So 3,006 is the target. Above that, 1380. buy near 29.30, 29.60. It's a big range. You can buy anywhere in this range. It's your choice. And if it trades below, no need to jump into this trade. It has filled the gap relatively strong today. BA is still neutral. It should have broken out. It did not, but it did made a potential morning star was there. Now it did. 183 target is still there. So if market gives you a positive direction for next few weeks, Boeing is really, really good. Stop loss should be in the high of this candle, which is 178. Stop loss is 178. Targets are still there. Buy above 180. And it's a morning star on daily as well. Baba, I actually took long position on Baba just before the very small 3-lot position. Because it held on to the day's lows and kind of coming back and above the opening price. So kind of making a positive candle. But if you look at the Heikin Ichi, it is still making lower lows. So I just did it because I thought the European markets are green, the American market is green, Chinese market will open up green. So hopefully that replicates and Baba goes up. But I still want to short this in the same price area. Even if I have a positive position, I will exit as soon as it opens. But I want to sell it at 80. If it comes around 80, I'll be selling this. Cat is almost at the same level. Like it's continuation going on and on. It's kind of basing out at 215, making a bullish pennant. So I'm gonna wait for a couple of more candles to see whether it's gonna hold it or not. But as of now, it's holding 215. There's no big body candle here. The trend is positive. It's holding about 23. So if market moves higher, it will provide some strength. Or in case market is weak, this will definitely provide as a defensive stock. So 215 is a good area for Caterpillar. So I'm updating the stop loss in case of Caterpillar to 215 now. Costco like worked like a charm today. Again, it's a bullish setup. If I convert this into Heikin Ichi, you will see it's holding on to this and looking much better. Tested the 12 EMA and in normal candles as well, it's going higher. I need to make some Fibonacci levels here so that I can have more clarity. So now let me just draw a Fibonacci retracement extension. So I'm picking up the topmost point, 571, latest low. No, I'm doing wrong. I should pick up from here. Go here. I'm this and right here. So if I click and edit properties, high is 571.49. The low here is 469. Okay. So 537 area is a really good area as a resistance. Now should act as a support because it was getting rejected at around 537. If I move into a normal candle, it's normal candle, you see it's kind of getting rejected right here. Today it crossed it and crossed it with some strength. So 537 is your stop loss now. I would say buy near 540, 543. Target will be 553. There's no resistance there. And I'm just picking 553. Facebook is one of the laggards in the market. It has been decimated. It held on to 190. Now it should test 197. 197 and 205. Stop loss is well defined, 190.5, which acted as a resistance in the morning. Now 197 and 205 are possibilities. I'll still call Facebook as neutral because it's little weak compared to the market. So in case if it breaks down 190, I will avoid this. Google was like trying its best. It made an inside day today. So any move over 2600 should be really meaningful in Google. So buy above 2605. Stop loss, or I would say 2611. 2611 will be much better because then it will recapture the 12 EMA. Stop loss will be 2580. Target will be 2670. And then there's 2725. I'm still keeping it as neutral because it was supposed to show the strength, and it kind of rallied, but it was the first one to give up as well. So I'm really focused on Google to see if it works out. Crowd, this is one stock which I want to eliminate because I don't focus on it. I'm just eliminating this row. ITSI did the job, but I wanted it to break above 126 area, but more or less it did the job. Now 121 is a stop loss in ITSI. Buy above 126. Targets are still 137, 147 on ITSI. JPM, depending on the market conditions tomorrow, it might go up or it come down hard. So I'm just keeping it very small trade for JPM as a possibility, depending on the FOMC. If it loses 132, I'm just going to update the stop loss to 130. If it loses 130, no need to go long. Microsoft attained 285, which is a 12 EMA, and now holding above it. So now it will become the stop loss, which is 285 is the stop loss, and target is 295. And I'm just giving only one target, 295. Again, Microsoft is neutral for me. Buy above 2 or buy near 286, 287. Nvidia is super positive. I was an idiot to close this so early. I was holding it for yesterday and few days, and now Nvidia, such a massive candle. Tested that 208, 209 area, 213, and then bounced, captured the 12 EMA. So 227 is your stop loss now, which was my target. 239 is the target. $239, I think 239 and 250 is somewhere it can show some respite. And buy near 228, 230. It's a high beta stock. It will move with the market. So 227 is really, really strong support. Ahmed, it's your choice. I cannot define what, depending on the market situation. If I knew that, yes, this stock is going to move, or I'm just sharing my list. You need to pick up, do some check at the real time in the market and see what works. Because if I knew this is going to work and it's going to work, I will sell all of my property and do that. So that's not practical. UPST did almost the targets. 96 here. So 96, I'm just taking this 95 as my stop loss. Now I'm upgrading. Target is 100 and 113. I'm still keeping it neutral because well below the 12 EMA and the trend is negative by above 97. UAL finally created a gap, almost 10% up. 37 was my target. It went on to make 38. So now next target is 41. 12 EMA, which is 37.50, is my stop loss. 41 is the next target. Both the targets are 41. Buy near 38. Tesla, I'm going to eliminate the short side because it's pretty much done. Tesla is 800 something today. So in the morning, it could not break out 779 and came back, but held on to the previous low. 756, it has held in last few days multiple times. So it respected that and kind of made a bullish candle there. Now it's still neutral, but stop loss will move to 795. Buy above 800. Target is 822, 845. All right, so that's pretty much it from me. The gaps are, sometimes some gaps are there which needs to be held. They will get filled maybe when the market is negative, but not at this time, Vivek. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now. Otherwise, I am going to drop the call. You can ask the questions over the YouTube chat, and now there is a lag between what I'm saying and what you're watching. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes for you guys to respond. Let me also share the. I'm just sharing this thing because waiting is gonna kill me. So anybody who's interested can join the Zoom call now. I've shared the link. But join only if you want to speak or want to interact. If you want to be a silent spectator, then there's no point. Thank you, MTN. So I've shared the link. You can now join the call. But again, no, crude is not a good shot at this time. If I open my crude chart, 127 was 23 was my target, and it did well above 123, and now it's getting rejected. But this time it's not making a newer low. So till the moment it's holding above the trend line, I would not go short on crude at this time. Let it come around 110. It makes sense. Shavik, would you short Tesla if market pulls back? Yes, Tesla is a high beta stock. So if market is weak, Tesla will also go back. Okay, so nobody is joining in on Zoom. So, all right. Thank you. I am closing the meeting then. Good night. Ganesh, it's your choice. You want to try, you can try anything. But you need to have a logic why you want to try spy puts for tomorrow. As of now, I'm not trading anything unless I have clarity. I will wait. All right, guys. Good night.